Hi, this is Abul Hussain coming to you direct from London, the United Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of the SMMA Mastermind podcast, where we talk about how you can start or scale your digital marketing agency. And we also bring on subject matter experts who to share their wisdom to help you to deliver better results for your clients. Now, if you are watching this interview outside of our Facebook group, make sure to find the link above or below this video, or go to smmamastermind.com, especially if you are in the agency community. Now, with that out of the way, I have a very special guest who has been a digital marketing veteran for probably the last decade. Her name is Patricia Boral, and she is the founder of Boral Agency. And we are going to talk about the importance of having an integrated marketing strategy. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Abul. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you very much for joining me. So for the people who might not know who you are, how about a little bit of an introduction?
Of course. Okay, so I've been in the industry, I don't want to say the years, right? But probably for around 20 years, but I've been with my agency for the last decade. Actually, this is our 10-year anniversary. And it's really exciting. It's very challenging to start because, as we all know, marketing, it's a very, very competitive field. However, once you find your tribe, it's very easy to follow.
Right, that's absolutely awesome. Now, before you started your agency, were you already in the digital marketing space? What were you doing before that?
Yes, I got my degree on marketing and advertising, and I was working for different companies, and I worked for 𝗕𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗃, running campaigns all over Americas. Then I also worked for a wholesaling company, running campaigns on Walgreens. For those that are watching from the US, Walgreens is one of those nationwide pharmacies. So, and I had other businesses back in Bolivia, where I'm originally from. And which actually one of those companies still run until today. It's a branding company. And then when I came to the States, I moved to Houston 13 years ago. First thing I wanted to do is start my own company, and I decided to go into the marketing field, of course, because it's my career.
And that's absolutely awesome. So as
Yes.
part of your agency, what services are you providing for your clients? Are you working with particular industries, or do you work with anyone who wants to work with you?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I think as a marketer, when you start an agency or when you've been in the field for quite some time, sometimes we want to be focused on a specific industry or a specific service. But in our case, we are not industry specific. And the way we work is we start with a marketing assessment with our clients. And based on that assessment, we decide what services we're going to offer. And we're a full service agency. So we have clients that we're helping them with the branding, like UX design for platform, applications, softwares, all the way to running campaigns for universities, manufacturing companies. So we are really running all over the spectrum, from a startup company all the way from a long or large corporation as well.
Oh, wow, that's quite a lot of different services that you're providing.
It is. And I think because I know this show is for a lot of agency owners, correct?
Yes.
So when you are starting your agency, yes, it's important that you choose what's going to be the business model that you are going to follow. And there's really no wrong or right answers. It really depends on what fits better with yourself and what you like to do. And in my case, the reason because I've had other companies, I love the whole idea of creating new companies. And that's what I get to experience through the way and the business model that we built with our agency.
Awesome. So, you're providing a lot of different services. What does it look like internally? How many people form a part of your agency, and what kind of core areas do you have people focusing on?
So we are what I consider a small agency. So we are 8 people in-house. However, depending on the client, we do outsource some of the things. So we have like 2 videography companies that we work with, 2 photographers that we work with. So we usually have a list of contractors that we usually work, right? Especially when it comes to content writing, because you want to make sure that you have an expert writing the content for your clients.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. You think 8 is small, but 8 is, 7 more people than a lot of freelance and solo.
Yes, that is true.
So talk.
Well, you're right.
You're doing a great job. No, honestly, like eight is great. And you've been around the space for about 10 years. So kind of when you started the journey, how quickly did you grow? I mean, how was it quite difficult in the beginning, or like were you able to hire very quickly?
Well, yes and no, I think. Well, we changed a lot. So back in Bolivia, I had a branding company. So we will do the branding aspects and then the promotional products, basically branding anything. So when I was here, I realized that the industry was already kind of built. So I started the agency just thinking on kind of like replicating what I did in Bolivia. I want to have a branding company. But the more I got exposed into other agencies, I realized that there was not that many agencies offering the type of service that we do. So we just reshift. So for the first 4 years, we were more focused on branding. And then we started opening the field to like digital marketing, SEO, content writing, and all of that.
Right. Okay. And obviously, branding seems to be your passion. It seems to be your forte. Um, Now, a lot of
Yeah.
people think when they think of branding, they think of a logo and they think of colors on a website. What does effective branding mean for you?
Branding is everything. And a lot of times people think that they don't need branding, especially if you're working with clients that are in the B2B arena or business to business. And they don't realize that they already have a brand. They already been working on their branding. It starts with the personality, the voice of the company, everything you touch, everything that goes out, any kind of communication with customers and vendors, that's your branding. So you have an internal branding and you have an external brand as well.
Right. And
So you have to go across everything.
no, absolutely. And I'm guessing you support them on both aspects of kind of forming the internal and
Correct.
external. Great. So talking about having an integrated marketing strategy, how would you define what an integrated marketing strategy is?
So an integrated marketing strategy, what it is basically just grab everything together and now everybody is going towards the same goal. That's what an integrated marketing is. So basically your email marketing campaign, your social media, SEO, your brand, your videos, anything marketing wise is aligned with your strategy. But also you have to align your salespeople with that marketing strategy. So we aim to bring together the marketing and the sales department together as well. And sometimes, in some cases, we even have to work with the operations team when we're working with manufacturing companies to understand how's the process, how they are creating the product that they create to find those differentiators. So an integrated marketing strategy involves way more than just creating a nice flyer or creating a nice, video, right? So that's really what an integrated marketing strategy is.
It's, for a lot of people who might be small business owners, because they are a part of our audience as well, they might be thinking, this is so complicated. How can me, being a small business owner running a local business, integrate this into my day-to-day marketing activities?
Oh, yes, that's absolutely a good question because we do get a lot of small business owners as our clients. And the way we start is like, okay, what's your ultimate goal? Okay, in the next 5 years, how do you see your company? And then you reverse engineer, right? 5, 10 years, whatever you want your ultimate goal to be, let's set realistic goals. In 5 years, you need to get here. In 1 year, this is where we need to be. Based on these are the tactics that we're going to implement on your strategy. But just because you're a small business, it doesn't mean that you can't dream big, because that's the reason you became a business owner and you open your business, is to go somewhere. So start where you want to get, and then try to figure out how you're going to get there. And that's how you prioritize which marketing tactics are a priority versus other ones.
Mm-hmm. And from your agency's perspective, do you have a preference on focusing on one marketing tactic over other? So, for example, PPC over SEO or paid social. I mean, where do you go to first?
No, that's a great question, Abul, because a lot of times, and I have to say that if you're one of these agencies, or if you have been approached by an agency that is forcing a specific service or package, I would say run away. That's not something that you can trust, because each business is different. And you have to start based on your audience and based on your budget and your goals, right? So based on that, you're going to establish the strategy. Let's say you want to invest in SEO. And then when we come and look at your goal, right, SEO is going to take at least 6 months. Sometimes it can take up to 2 years, depending on how competitive that keyword is. So if those let's say 6 months, right? So within those 6 months that you're working on your keywords and on all your SEO strategy, backlinks and all of that, you can start a PPC campaign. So you can do PPC, but as your SEO goes up, your PPC goes down. So there's a moment where they're going to meet, and that's when your PPC starts going down. And that's how every strategy should be. Marketing should be an investment. So at the beginning, you're going to invest more dollars, but the goal is that eventually it maintains itself and it has less and less dollars every time.
Mm-hmm. That's quite interesting that you're saying a strategy can take 6 months to 2 years to actually work, because there's a lot of agency owners out there, freelancers out there, who obviously pick up clients who want immediate results. Do you get prospects coming to you who are like, well, 6 months, it's too long. I want something a bit more immediate, or do they need to follow your plans that you devise for them to be a good fit and for you to actually work with them?
It depends, right? So that's why you start with an assessment. So if somebody says like, okay, I just want to run one specific campaign because I only have this amount of dollars and I want results in 1 month, then of course an advertising campaign will be the only way they can generate that traffic, because there are tactics that are what they are, right? Tactics that are going to get quick results. However, they're not sustainable in the long run, because if you're just focusing on outbound marketing, people get tired eventually and they start dropping out, right? The goal for you is to nurture your leads. Mm-hmm. Nurture your leads for them to come to you instead of you always having to go to them.
Right.
And it's also not sustainable as a business owner, because the moment you stop paying, you don't get any leads.
That's true. That's very true. Now, you've mentioned you came to the States from Bolivia, and obviously you had a branding agency in Bolivia, and now you're working in the States. So in terms of your operations and the clients that you're working with, are they purely based in the States? Are they also across Bolivia and other parts of Latin America? Or, how does your operation look like?
Most of our clients are all over the United States, but we do have some clients that are coming from Latin America, especially those that are trying to introduce a new product into the market. And the same goes for Europe. Like we've had some clients from Spain and from Italy. Mm-hmm. So all over, really, all over the world, except Asia. I haven't had any clients from Asia yet.
Well, you're
I'm open to it.
Still growing, so that's great. I suppose so. A lot of people who are starting their agencies, one of the biggest problem they have is they have the skills. So they're a branding expert, or they're a PPC expert, or an SEO expert, but they don't know how to get clients. What did client acquisition, getting new clients, look like for you when you started your business, and what does it look like for you today?
So I think as a small business owners that are opening your agency, you have to put yourself as your first customer. So do exactly as what you would do for a client for your own agency. And that's how we run it in our company. We actually have a folder in our customer folders where we save everything, that it's with our name, Boral Agency, and that we just take ourselves as one of our clients. That's how we do it. And that's how we distribute the projects and everything that we have to do. So that would be my first recommendation for all business owners. Treat yourself as your customer.
Right. So in terms of what you're doing now, has your strategy changed over the last 10 years? Are you still doing the same?
Oh, yes, definitely. No. We've changed our business model. We've changed our target audience, and we've even changed our service offerings throughout the years. So it's all a learning experience. So that's why if you treat yourself as your customer, every year you're going to sit down and realize, okay, let's do a customer analysis. Where were we before? Okay, we had 40 customers. How can we have, because like in 1 year, we actually end up reducing the number of clients, but doubling our sales numbers. And the only way you can accomplish that is by analyzing what kind of clients you have and changing your business model to be able to target the customers that are most profitable for you.
Yeah.
So it changes. You never stay the same.
That makes sense. And within your agency itself, do you have people who are doing prospecting on a regular basis? Do you have people doing cold calling, cold emailing, or anything like that? Or are you getting a lot of, I suppose, new business from your existing network?
Yes, we do. Most of our clients, we have, like I said, we do customer analysis, right? So I know that 20% of our clients come from our email marketing, the other 20% from like networking, 40% comes from referrals and word of mouth. And then the rest comes from the website itself, the website and different social media campaigns. We don't do cold calling at all, really. But we do have 2 salespeople dedicated just to do sales, right? One of them is 100% business development. The other one is 80-20 business development.
Right. Okay. Now that's, I suppose, a good mix. So coming back to formulating marketing strategies, when you are creating plans for your customers, is a lot of it quite immediate, or do you work on more of a vision that is 12 months or longer? What does your normal, I suppose, project look like?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the clients, but most of our projects, like the core of the project itself, is within 9 to 12 months. And then after that, it's kind of like the maintenance. Like I said before, the investment goes high at the beginning, but then after 9 months, it will drop dramatically. So that's kind of how we work with our clients. Because also the way we work with our customers, we believe a lot in education and making sure that our clients grow as well. So we see the future way beyond the marketing campaign that we're going to be creating for them. So if in the future they are looking to hire people or have an internal marketing department, so we help them with all of those growing pains as well.
Right. Okay.
So our clients, we have clients that have been with us for years, like 6 years, 7 years.
That's awesome. So I'm guessing the clients that you're servicing, they must be of a certain size. Then they're not going to be, your mom and pop businesses or your local small business. I'm guessing they probably have a larger footprint and they can afford to invest in something for 12 months without getting worried after the 3rd month that the results are not coming.
Yes, well, the results don't come after the 12 months, right? Most of our clients get the return on their investment within 6 weeks of launching their campaign. So it's within 3 to 4 months of getting started, right? Because it takes 3 months to launch something. But we do have some startups. So they will come to us, we will do some mentorship, and then they just stay in touch with us because we do have some free resources like on our website. And then when they're ready, they come back, and we do a lot of training with our clients too. So it really depends. So we do have some mom and pop that came to us. Like for example, one time we had a client that she had a salon, like a hair salon, and she wanted to sell her business. Right. So we came in, did an entire rebranding, increased the value of her salon, and she was able to sell it within a year. So it really depends. Every client, every customer need is different. That's why starting with an assessment is so important. But that also depends on the type of agency that you are, right? So if you're just gonna offer one specific service and that's gonna be your niche, then you probably don't need to offer all of these services. However, I do recommend that you partner with other agencies. So that way you can refer business to each other. So for example, we do work with other agencies that, let's say, we have an agency that only does branding, but they don't do web development. So they come to us and we will do the web development, but they still get, like a commission. So work partnerships, when you are small, that's the best way to grow.
And, we are going through a global pandemic right now. How has that impacted your business? How has it been for your customers?
Well, I would love to say we were lucky, but in reality, we were prepared. In Houston, a couple of years ago, we went through a horrible natural disaster, a Hurricane Harvey. If you're in Houston, Texas, you know what I'm talking about. That hurricane almost wiped out half of my clientele because my clients lost their home, lost their buildings, their actual business. So that's when we actually changed our business model again and the way we offer our services. And thankfully, because we learned that lesson, is that this pandemic didn't affect us at all, really. And we actually grew as a company.
Oh, wow. That's
We hired 2 people during the pandemic.
That is amazing.
So yes.
Yeah, no, people are firing people and you're hiring people. So I know we're very quickly running out of time. So final question for you, Patricia.
Yes.
What's next for your agency? What is your vision?
So for us, what's coming next is really we're trying to create this global community. So we are working on that because we do want to be able to work with small business owners. Again, a strong students education. So we want to create all of these for small business owners, but at the same time for small agencies. So these agencies can have the templates and the system that we've already created as an agency that we know they work. And that's the next step for us. So be ready.
No, that's absolutely awesome. And, if someone wants to get in touch, they can find you as Patricia Boral on LinkedIn. Are you
Correct.
on any other
Please.
platforms, or is LinkedIn the best place to find you?
LinkedIn is one of the best platforms to find me. I'm also on Facebook, Patricia Boral, and you can also find me on Instagram as 𝗕𝗲𝗿𝗲𝗍𝗔.
𝗕𝗲𝗿𝗍𝗔. That's awesome. On that note, Patricia, thank you so much for your time.